It is Friday, July 1st, 2022. So it's 4th of July weekend for us. I think you kind of wrapped up, for the most part, our kind of squash / zucchini season. So share with everybody what you're doing now with the zucchini, like tons of it.
Well, we had so much of it, and we just can't use it all that fast. And so I decided to shred it all and freeze it in 2-cup packets. So with recipes, so like zucchini bread and other recipes, I can just pull out a little baggie and have zucchini.
We posted a video on Healthy Farm Living this week, right? So we have a video of pesto, and you harvested some basil. The basil is now basically bolting, so it's going to seed and trying to scramble to get all that harvested, right? So we dried some, and then you made your pesto.
Yes, I did. Made pesto and used some zucchini to make zucchini pasta with the pesto.
The ducks are growing so fast.
Oh my goodness. I seriously, every day I go out there, they've gotten bigger.
Yeah, they are getting really big. They're feathering in nicely, right? And they definitely did not fit the pool.
No, I bought that pool before we'd even taken them out of the brooder. And they were all small. So I thought, oh, this will be a nice little first pool for them, and they'll easily all fit in there. No.
Not so much.
No.
So you decided to go and spend less money on a larger pool. They're super happy.
They really like it. They really like it, yeah. And so shopping for the next one that we're gonna have to do, so.
The next size up. So we're being forced into ponds is what it narrows down to.
Yeah.
A couple things that we harvested this morning. We've got apple season. We don't have a lot of apples left on the trees because the birds take a few out. There's still a few left, but this is an Einsheimer apple. So we're gonna try that out real quick. But more importantly, we have our first black mission fig. And got a little bit of damage from a bird, and I didn't see any bugs in there. So, do you want to try it real quick?
Give me the half that doesn't have the bug bite.
Oh, great. So I got the whole half with. Ooh, yeah, that's nice and ripe. Really good, but you know what? I'm going to save my opinion, because I think we need to do a separate video on black mission figs. We've never done that before. Now we got some ripe ones. We're going to share a couple things with you guys today. One of the things that we wanted to do was give you guys an update on something you guys have been asking about. That, well, let's just go look at it. This past winter, when we were pruning our fig and mulberry trees, we decided to give a shot at rooting out some cuttings rather than just putting them through the chipper. Now, we kind of threw it all together, didn't really know exactly what we were doing. I mean, we had some ideas because we've rooted cuttings semi-successfully before, but you can see behind me here, this was almost 100% a failure. We actually had Reed come over and picked up some cuttings for himself, and he was basically describing what we needed to do in order to get these to take Number one, we've got the wrong soil. Number two, we didn't harden off the cuttings. So we've got a couple things going on there that definitely were detrimental. Now we put fig trees in here, and you'll be able to see that they are completely dead. We have nothing alive from the fig trees. We also have a few different types of mulberries. The black Pakistan mulberry as well as the Shangri-La mulberries were a complete and total failure. We had none of those that took, even though they started to sprout here this spring. Now the one exception is we have two of our ever-bearing mulberries that are trying to hang in there. There are a handful of leaves on there that are still just a little bit green. The soil that we have in here is actually very, very good soil structure, and it's actually what we use for our garden beds and our garden bed end caps. So we definitely have a use for this soil here, but it is not this. In fact, one of the dead giveaways to, for the most part, dead soil is ragweed. And one of the things that is very apparent here is that ragweed is more than happy to come up in dead soil. But we're gonna go ahead and pull all these out. Let's see if we got some roots on some of these, maybe somewhere. You can see it was, I'm gonna say, a near 100% failure. So one of the things that we found as we were pulling these sticks out of the ground, it was pretty apparent that some of them were just completely dry. You can see nothing had even started. There was also several that you could tell had started to rot. It's pretty easy to see that. You can easily peel the bark away down at the bottom of the cutting, and again, no actual rooting at all. And we did have one panache fig that did its best, and we had seen that two leaves had popped out and then died back. It had actually started to root out decent down at the bottom of the cutting, but it also had some rot a little further up, so there was no chance it was going to make it. So I'm going to call that 100% failure. We did not succeed at that at all. One of the things we've had folks ask us is whether or not we sell trees. The intention never was to sell trees. We have done some propagation and shared those with folks, and we may do that in the future. So I think what it narrows down to for us right now is to decide whether or not we want to invest the time to figure out how to do this well at scale, and whether or not we actually want to add that to the different enterprises we have here on the farm, because to be honest, it takes a lot of time, and time is short. What you guys saw us putting together there is actually the area we're gonna be planting our banana. I think it's Matalo. Forgive me if I pronounced it wrong, but I know you're down in Jamaica. You gave us some great tips on what to do with bananas. Definitely, I figure if anybody knows, it's you. But as far as what we're gonna need to do, and Bob said the same when it came to pups. So these are gonna continue to basically expand out, assuming we can get them to survive. So we wanted to designate an area that we were gonna be able to turn into more of a tropical kind of area. So now that this expansion is done, I'm gonna do a little bit of pruning here on the kumquats, and then we're gonna go start our ground cover. One of the things about planting sweet potatoes, as you can see behind me here, is they come back with a vengeance. So we've been utilizing the sweet potatoes to feed the goats, and of course they're shading out these beds. Now we have cowpeas in here that we want to actually maintain, but what I'm doing is basically pulling these out. In fact, we've started several of these in the house about a week ago, and they're rooting out just fine, even with the long vines remaining. So I figure if we can get some good rooting here over the next week, we'll be able to plant these and get a good start to the ground cover in that area for the banana plant. Now, while I was pulling out these small ones, there was a slightly larger one that I found. So this is an actual sweet potato, and it's got a lot of rooting in here. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to see whether or not we can actually get this thing to take over there in that banana area. So I say we go give it a shot. I didn't expect to get basically a whole sweet potato out of that ground. Now, one of the things I think you'll notice here where we just planted this sweet potato is it was extremely hard. I was having to use that sharpshooter that I have and really kind of chisel that dirt out because we haven't been keeping this ground wet, so it's completely dry. I think one of the things that will be interesting to see is whether or not we can actually get that sweet potato to survive right here. We gave it a lot of water, so I think it's gonna be okay, but I honestly have no idea. If this survives being planted mid-morning on July 1st in hard Arizona dirt, something tells me you can grow sweet potatoes just about anywhere. We actually got a little bit of rain this week, some measurable rain, right? Mm-hmm. So it was 1/8 of an inch. It brings us up to 3/4 of an inch of rain so far year to date. We're halfway done. So what is that, about 19 millimeters or so? So you get an idea of just how dry it is. It's pretty darn dry. Speaking of dry, I think the wine that we're making today is probably not gonna be, huh?
Oh no.
So our very first wine of the season, we have started with our mulberry wine, and we're gonna be using about 20 pounds of mulberries in order to make this wine. And right now those were frozen and they're warming up. It's our wine season, so we start making wines now, and the reason why is because it's warmer in the house and the fermentation just goes so much more quickly and thoroughly. So we can get several wines done back to back, and that's the goal. We got 3 really good, nice ripe pumpkins. At least these are easier to tell when they're ripe because, well, they're orange. We actually need to plant these again here this month if we want to have them ripe in time for Halloween. But nice, cool little eating pumpkin, and that's actually kind of what we plan on doing with these, is making maybe some pumpkin pie in the middle of summer. Got 3 of them. Yeah, we got plenty of it.
Some pumpkin bread.
Ooh, yeah, pumpkin bread. That sounds fantastic. What are these? The sweet treat blueberries? So these, we got a handful of them on the tree. Not too many, but they're just about ripe. And so far, they're not doing too bad, being covered with the organza bags and surviving.
Yeah.
So, but let's go ahead and try these sweet treat blueberries. Oh. Wow.
Very good.
That's fantastic. Little pit, little freestone pit.
Throw it on the ground.
Threw it on the ground. You can tell they're definitely done. They're starting to get just a little tiny bit mealy. in the middle, but super sweet. What a treat. Sweet treat blueberries. That was bad, wasn't it? So just want to thank you guys for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here as we're establishing this new functioning farm here in the Arizona desert. Would love to see you on a regular basis. Any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section down below. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That is a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy, you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
so can you.
See a mosquito on the camera. I guess it's, I was gonna say, at least it's not on us, and he just dive bombed me. And we've actually got a video on the Healthy Farm Living channel that, oh!
Mosquito.
Oh!
I got him.
Really?
I thought you'd want me to kill it.
You smacked me right in the face. Thank you, I guess. Oh my goodness. That is spousal abuse right there. You literally smacked me right in the... I can't believe...
I tapped you.
Oh, here, I'm gonna tap you too. See how that works? Or you can just go like this, you know? Not whack me in the face.
I wanted to kill it.
You wanted to kill what? My face?
Mosquito.
So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
so can you.
All right, let's get out of the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I don't want you smacking me in the face again.